All right, piss and vinegar day 25. So, chest and triceps day. My incline dumbbell press is officially stronger than my. Well, not stronger, but for all intents and purposes, it's stronger than my flat barbell press, which is fucking ludicrous. I don't know. I don't think I've met. I don't know of anybody that's got a stronger dumbbell press than their barbell press, but I do now. And so, yeah, it doesn't really matter because I think dumbbell press is better for hypertrophy anyway. I think it's just kind of crazy that my an incline press is notoriously weak, quite a bit weaker than your flat press anyway, and your dumbbell press is notoriously quite a bit weaker than any barbell press in general. So the fact that my incline dumbbell press is stronger than my flat barbell press is beyond me, but it's all good. I think it's just kind of funny. I'm not really that fussed about my flat barbell press because historically, my best flat barbell press was 161 rep max, and I was doing 4 plates for 5 sets of 5. So, and I had fucking nothing as far as chesticles to show for it. So, I remember Rich Piana once said, if you can bench 4 plates for reps, there's no way you can't have a big chest. Well, that was fucking wrong because I have never had a big chest, and my chest is actually bigger now when I'm bench pressing probably 40, 50 kilos less than it was when I was 20 kilos heavier, bench pressing 50 kilos more. So, I don't know, maybe for some people, the flat barbell bench press equals big chest if you get strong at it, but in my case, absolutely not. Especially because I have a protruding sternum, which makes my upper chest hard to really pop, because the bone, the rib cage, and the sternum pops out. I'm doing 36 kilos for 7 reps here, so it was pretty good. Almost at my body weight incline dumbbell press. But yeah, my fucking sternum pops out, which makes it really hard to pop my upper chest. And then my lower chest has this fucked up like semi-gyno fat storage. I mean, my nipples are fine, thank God, but I have a lot of fat stores in my lower chest, so my chest just looks fucked up, and it's very hard to get any real muscle mass in general. But I'm confident that getting strong at my dumbbell pressing variations and my dips will be the solution to my chest problem, basically. Oh, and high intensity, of course, because I've only just started doing high intensity very recently, and ever since doing high intensity, my chest has actually grown somewhat, and that's over a cut. So I'm confident over my bulk in the next month or so that my chest my chest will get big from high intensity and better chest variations, because I just don't have any confidence in the bench press at this point giving me big bulbous pecs, especially when all I can feel in my bench press right now is my front delt anyway. So I don't know if anyone's out there with the same sort of situation as me where bench press doesn't do anything for them, and you got people telling you, bro, you just got to get strong at bench press. Tell those people to fuck off, because I bench pressed 140 for 5 reps. Didn't have a fucking chest to show for it. I have big meaty triceps from it, but not a fucking chest in sight. So fuck those people. Adopt the dumbbells. I mean, this isn't to say that you can't do barbell bench press. Barbell bench press is cool and all, and of course it will build some chest muscle, especially if you're inclined to feel it. But it's not superior, and a lot of times it is inferior to many other variations. Which, in case in point, the dip. Now, until recently, I couldn't do dips because it would hurt my sternum, and I'd heard of people that would break their fucking sternums doing dips, so I steer clear. But then recently, I started trying them again. I started with the ring dip, and that felt fine. Then I thought, fuck it, I'll give the the bar dip a go, and this feels fine now. So, really, really weak at these because I haven't done them in such a long time, but they feel good. I can feel my chest a lot when I do these now. They used to be a tricep dominant movement for me, but now I feel them in the chest. So my mind-muscle connection is always fucking moving all around the place. Some movements one year hits me just sweet on in the bang in the right spot, and then the next year I don't feel it at all. So I just kind of rotate exercises depending on how my body is reacting. I know it sounds super weird and schizo, but I swear on my life that my mind-muscle connection changes from movement to movement every few years or so. Some movements stay, like the real bang for your buck, like high proprioception, high pain receptor movements like decline curls. I'll never not feel that in my bicep unless maybe my front delt gets too tight. But certain movements, yeah, I have to rotate them out in order to start feeling them again. So, yeah, these are good. I find with the fat grips, they don't hurt my wrists, and I can get kind of a better sort of force output, or just I feel it. It just feels better. It feels more natural. There's no real reason you'd feel your chest more, but I just happen to feel a bit better when I do it with these fat grips. I need to build a DIY dip station because these fucking bars rotate, so I'm gripping and I'm actively trying to grip it so they don't rotate. And anytime you're gripping something, you're taking away from the mind muscle connection you're trying to actively feel, and which in this case is the chest. So I might need to make a dip station of sorts, and it also would save the fucking setup of having to put those barbells up there. So anyway, onto flat dumbbell flies. I add band tension here to create more tension at the top, because at the top gravity is working with you, which is not a good thing. You want gravity to work against you so that you get time on attention throughout the entire resistance curve. So I add this band, and I'm starting to add bands to a lot of different movements to keep the tension on the muscles throughout the range of motion. I recently added it to my lat pullover, so I'm gonna start adding this onto different movements and reap the benefits, because this definitely makes a huge fucking difference for real. If you haven't tried these, or if you have a pec deck machine, sure, use that. Although I have a pec deck machine in my house, and I fucking hate pec deck machines because I just feel them in my shoulders. I like the dumbbells more. Add the bands, and you got a perfect fucking chest exercise. This shit, I feel this like no other chest exercise. And then you got the variation drop set in the press. I let the band go and do a few more reps. My dog's kind of circling me like a shark. I think he's hungry. He's also on a weight cut. He put on too much weight, so we're both cutting weight. He eats better than I do, actually. Or he basically eats the same foods I eat. He gets all the red mints and stuff that I eat. And then I move on to a tricep rope pushdown. These are really good. When I first started doing these, I got this... The first time I ever did this variation with a bunch of drop sets, I had this, like, cramping sensation that wasn't an actual cramp for like 2 hours, where my tricep hurt. Like, it was, I can't even remember how it felt, but it felt like my tricep was cramping without cramping, if that makes any fucking sense. And it freaked me out. Like, for 2 hours my tricep was just fucked, both of them in fact. And so these definitely do something. They don't do that anymore, thankfully. Or, well, it'd actually be cool if it did do that, because sometimes when you get these fucked up side effects from training, that actually, like DOMS or cramping or spasms, it actually feels like you've mentally done something. So, not getting DOMS anymore as someone that's been lifting for a while is kind of gay. I wish I kind of had DOMS again. That'd be cool. But, DOMS aren't all be all end all. Obviously, people make plenty of gains without any DOMS at all. DOMS are just, that's more of a novice/beginner thing. Although my legs will always get DOMS. So I do 3 drop sets here. So you start with strict form, getting the full range of motion, getting that cramping sensation with the massive contraction at the bottom like that, and then a stretch at the top. And this way you get a good muscular stretch with a crazy muscular contraction, and then you can start using momentum to get a few more reps, and then do like half reps. And yeah, when you start really cheat repping these to get that fucking contraction at the top, it's really brutal. Then I move on to some unilateral tricep extensions. I recently got this new handle, so I wanted to try this out with my triceps, and it feels better than using the rope because it rolls through your hand rather than not rolling through your hand, which just means you don't have to grip as hard. And as I said, anytime you have to grip hard is not a good thing. I was doing underhand, but my tricep was cramping when I was doing that. Like, my inner tricep head has such immense mind muscle connection because of my hypermobile elbows. Like, I get more of a contraction than the average person because I have an extra range of motion that, especially on my left elbow that doesn't do arm wrestling, that when I do underhand tricep extensions, it fucking cramps up. Like, it's that brutal of a contraction. So I had to switch to overhand in order to not cramp up on my right arm at least. And I was also just experimenting with different grips because I wanted to figure out whether or not I could target my outer head, because a lot of people feel the inner head less than the outer head. I'm the opposite. I bet I fuck all feel my outer head, and my outer head is actually lagging. So I was just trying different grips to see if I could target it. Of course, I couldn't. That's fine. Obviously, it's still contracting. Like, when people say, oh, I can't feel the muscle working, my muscle connection might give you a 10, maybe 5-10% increase on like hypertrophy, if that. I don't even know if it's really quantifiable or not. It could all be entirely placebo. But at the end of the day, if your elbow is extending, your tricep is contracting, and thus your muscle is working. Whether or not you could feel it, if you had a numbing agent that stopped you from feeling that tricep, it wouldn't change anything. It would still be contracting. And if you go to failure and you do high intensity and you hit every motor neuron and you exhaust every muscle fiber, then really the mind-muscle connection, I think at the end of the day, it's probably mostly placebo and maybe like a 5-10% added benefit, of which is very important because, again, every percentage counts. And if you can stack 5% increases in your training to 100%, well, now all of a sudden you're getting twice the gains. But it's not the end of the world if you can't totally feel the muscles. Now I'm doing some posing. Don't know what the fuck I'm doing. What the fuck is this pose? Who cares? Looking not too bad in this lighting, honestly. I'm trying to figure out my lighting at this gym. My forearms are looking pretty nasty, which is cool. My forearm flexors that I neglected for years. Train your flexors, people. They're super important. Still don't know what I'm doing. Don't know the fuck. I mean, I do a lot of posing on my chest day because my chest mind muscle connection kind of sucks, and I'm kind of obsessed with getting my chest bigger because, as you can see, that lower chest fat storage fucking is shit. That looks like shit. So I need to fix that by getting leaner and getting bigger lower pecs. Anyway, see you cunts tomorrow for more piss and vinegar. Bye bye.